My dear viewers, we're standing here on the eve of what is probably going to be one of the most breaking news and events in gaming history. And no, I am not talking about any game awards, any game reviews or something like that. No, I'm talking about a company that has been in the industry for decades, possibly about to cease to exist, or at least the way we know it. Greetings ladies and gents, my name is Heozu, the bearded Balkan blabbermouth, and I am discussing. And today is Thursday, November the 20th, which is 6 days after a very weird and important thing happened with nothing else but Ubisoft stocks, something that we have been covering on this channel for a long time. And it looks like this. This has been the situation from last Friday. So a little bit of a background. Ubisoft was supposed to release their earnings report on Friday, but just minutes before they did that, they halted the whole operation, they froze the stocks, and they haven't been active since then. As you can see from the 5 days ago, there's still no information. Just when you go to the 1 month, you can see now some tangible information. The rest is basically a flat line. And this happening just minutes before they were supposed to present the official numbers and make them so-called public. They just decided to stop everything and cover everything up and just not be active. There has been no news, there has been no updates, and there has been no development, apart from we now know again from Ubisoft that tomorrow on November 21st at the latest they will be revealing all their earnings reports and possibly an update to their situation. Now, one of the things that is very important as a predecessor to this story is that their stocks have been falling steadily for quite a while now. Now, this is the 1 month chart, and as you can see, up to a certain point, it has been fairly okay with small dips. It has been trying to surface and maintain a posture. However, on October 31st, going down to November 3rd, it has been just one steady drop with just a little bit of an upheaval that didn't last that long. They went as low as 6.08 euro on November 7th. This is following the now what we know firing of Mark Alexis Cote from the company, among other things that are not very clear. And as a channel that has been covering the state of Ubisoft for probably almost a year or even more, I can tell you one thing: this has been expected for quite some time. Now we know that Ubisoft has been partially acquired by Tencent by releasing 25% of their total stock and ownage of certain IPs to Tencent, creating a new sub-company, as to say, to handle those operations, and it hasn't really gotten them the stability that they needed. They have still continued to dip lower and lower in terms of stocks. If you see here, the 6 month stock does not look good. They were going lower and lower. Then you have this, which kind of upped their numbers a little bit, but they never could quite reach what they were in the beginning of last year. As you can see, for the entire year, the chart does not look better. As you can see, in March they were quite better in 1341. 1 year ago they were actually 1352, and they were being steadily low and low. And the 5-year chart basically looks like a fading heartbeat, as I have been saying for the past several weeks. And this basically, when you have a chart like that, when you have something that looks like is just going away into oblivion, I think that everything that happens can be expected, and I'm not saying that in the good way. Now, there's several speculations as to what's happening. Will Ubisoft be acquired? Will they be bought out by some other company or by a conglomerate of companies? Will they try to go private? Will they downsize and close a bunch of studios to consolidate resources? We don't know. There were rumors though. It started with Pirate Nation posting this from what I can only assume is Reddit. Ubisoft is getting bought by someone. This is from November 16. According to Omar Alamoudi, which we'll get to in a little bit, same person who teased Onimusha's return on Xbox falling out of mana. He said, and quote, imagine, within a single generation, all the world's largest third-party companies have been acquired, attaching the logos of EA, ABK, and Ubisoft. And this is the original post. As you can see, he tweeted it, and he said, only Tech2 remains as a huge third-party company that is still independent and has now become the largest in the world. If one of the Japanese companies acquires it at that time, it will become the largest third-party companies in the world. And as you can see, Activision, Blizzard, Electronic Arts, and Ubisoft, all of them have been listed here in this image. So we don't know what's going to happen, but apparently this is a very, very active rumor. And then we go to the one update that is from Ubisoft, saying information relating to the release of first half 2025-26 figures. Paris 19 November 2025 to communicate on its earning figures for the first half of fiscal 2025-26 no later than before the opening of trading on Friday 21st of November, which is tomorrow. The listing of the shares and the bonds and the thing is, they will be communicating that information. Now, whether or not everything will be stable or not, I don't think that they will come out of this unscathed, because freezing everything for a week does not bode well for a company. It doesn't look good for a company which it's already in a bad financial situation. They haven't been able to kind of get anything back from what they have created in the past several years, flop after flop, and now their most expensive flop up to date, especially for this series, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is the second in recent time in terms of budget, if you believe the rumors, with upwards to 250, or if you believe some rumors, $400 million budget. They're not in a good financial situation at all. They have been blasting money away into nothingness, and they haven't been able to get back almost any of it. And that, of course, scares investors. And if you remember last year on their investors calls, when you had a lot of investors and audio calls and audio leaks, that they were very, very concerned about what the actual earnings and projections for Assassin's Creed Shadows were, and they didn't get a concrete answer. And now, when they have to post the earnings from that game, they're going to be probably shitting their pants, because they have to post very few numbers in terms of what they have actually earned. And that all leads me to believe that this is going to be something major. Whether or not they're going to be bought out, they're going to be disassembled, as some of the rumors say, or they're going to be just consolidating resources, we will see tomorrow. However, this is one of those situations when we just might see a giant, an absolute giant in the industry with over 20,000 employees currently active, just disappear or being broken down. And this is actually some of the things that, if you believe the laws of nature and the laws of entropy, is something that is not unheard of, and it's actually very common. We have seen this year that the success of smaller indie studios is something to not be underestimated, as they are continuing today, as we speak, to sweep award after award, completely dominate over the AAA studios, and completely take everything away with smaller budgets but more dedication and passion. And I think Ubisoft will be the first victim of what is going to be the collective collapse of the major AAA companies. Some of them might survive. Maybe companies like Square Enix can survive if they shift fast enough by getting rid of all their DEI and unnecessary practices and just shifting towards making good games again. Maybe some of the companies will be able to survive in one form or another, but Ubisoft, in my opinion, is either going to be bought out and exist under someone else's patronage, or they'll just fall into oblivion one way or another. I don't think that they can do it on their own, because they just don't have the finance, they don't have the support, and they don't have the investors backing anymore. They don't have that confidence, because they don't really have a good track record in the past several years, and that's something that would close someone's pockets really, really fast. But anyways, this is all I have for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please press the like and subscribe buttons if you want to see more and more of my content. And if you want to share your opinion, please do write a comment down in the comment section below. And if you want to help the channel grow directly and help homeless animals and animals in shelters, please press the join button and become a part of the DiscussThing Guild. You're helping me, you're helping the channel, and you're helping homeless animals and animals in shelters with vet care, with food, with all kinds of support that they will need, especially now in the winter. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Helzo, this was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.